If you wanted to come and compete against us, you wanted to come and compete, say, in the Paralympics in Vancouver, you were here and you wanted to jump in, something fun to do, right? You'd have to go somewhere in the neighborhood of 130 kilometers an hour as a top speed, which I can tell you from experience is very, very fast. When you do some sort of sport, and this is why I love sport so much and why I love skiing, is when you're getting into your skis and you're starting to go downhill, the only thing that matters is what's right in front of you. I feel completely comfortable at 100 kilometers an hour, but then you get to 105 and it seems like infinitely faster than 100. And I hit about 126 when I went through the speed trap, and I was definitely scared at that point. It's definitely a challenge, but it's part of the game and it's part of the thrill of doing it and pushing your way through it.
From being a child who's very sick, right up to being, you know, in the start gate of the Paralympic Winter Games at home with everybody you know down the finish line. So I try and convey those emotions to them, the highs and the lows, because in skiing and just like in everything else in life, there are those extreme highs and those extreme lows, and that's fine, and there's many challenges along the way. You just want to kind of keep trucking through all of that. So, like you kids, can you say keep trucking on through? I don't know.
Probably the major question that most people might be wondering is, how did you lose your leg?
The pain in my leg hadn't gone away. They performed some tests and found out that I had cancer.
A form of cancer is called Ewing's sarcoma. It's a bone and tissue cancer. So shortly thereafter, I had my right leg amputated right through the knee.
So I lost my leg right before my 6th birthday. I was diagnosed on my mom's birthday on March the 7th in 1990.
When I was starting to feel better, and you know, I remember my friends starting to play softball. And so I went to my parents and I said, you know, Mom, Dad, I want to play baseball, but I can't because I can't run. But one of them looked at me and said, well, you just have to hit the ball farther. That's a pretty easy solution, right? You hit the ball over the fence and you can walk around the bases. So I went out and I learned to play softball. And so I phoned them back and they said, we've selected you to be the final torchbearer on March the 8th in Whistler. When I went to pick up the torch from my parents, I'd given it to them and I got it from my dad, and I realized that it had been 20 years and 1 day from the time I was diagnosed to the time I carried the torch. And my dad said it best. He said, never in our wildest imagination did we imagine when you were diagnosed on that day that that's what you would be doing 20 years later. It's really about a sense of freedom. And he said, when I go to the grocery store or when I ride my bike or when I'm going to pick up my kids, whatever it may be, I'm a disabled person. But when I get into a ski, I'm equal. When I click into a ski, I can ski with anybody.
My name is Matt Hallat, member of the Canadian Para-Alpine Ski Team and motivational speaker.